And joining me now from the International Affairs Desk is James Creedon. James, just take us through what's been happening today in Moscow with those talks between the UN Secretary-General and Vladimir Putin.
Well, it's a case of, you could say, good cop, bad cop, or sort of hard power and maybe softer diplomacy happening in parallel today in Ramstein in Germany. We'll get to that in a sec, but also in Moscow with the UN Secretary General Guterres. So he's calling for a ceasefire. I mean, I think when you're talking to Sergei Lavrov and these hardened politicians who are in the business of hard power, I'm not sure really that there's a massive amount of respect for that kind of an approach. It's not really going to get I would say, NATO or the Western Alliance very far when you have that calls for ceasefire. Basically, it's the hard brokering that's taking place elsewhere that really counts. Everything must be done to end the war as soon as possible, he said. So there was a lot of talk like that, a kind of aspirational talk for ending the conflict and also just the consequences of the conflict, what needs to be done, what can be put in place to help civilians, humanitarian corridors and such. So really not a massive amount of, I suppose, real results coming out of that meeting, but certainly a talk about calling for a ceasefire. We'll see what happens, I guess. But for him, NATO is fighting a proxy war by donating weapons. We know that. So for Sergei Lavrov, I think his eyes are very much on what's happening in Ramstein in Germany, and his messaging coming out of that meeting in Moscow is much more intended for the gathering in Germany today.
And talking about that meeting, which is happening as we speak in that US military base in southwestern Germany, where the US has brought together officials from some 40 countries beyond just the EU, as far afield as Israel and other parts of the world. Are we, as a result, coming closer to a new stage of the conflict, given that we're probably going to see a bolstering of Ukraine's defence capabilities?
Certainly there's a real show of support coming out of Ramstein. There's an attempt really to stand united against this Russian imperial aggression. That they're the words of Miley Austin. And so there's a real effort to rally support and also to show a show of strength. But I suppose really, certainly what we're seeing right now is the momentum is on the side of Russia. Even if you take a longer view of things, Russia's more strategic aims in this conflict have not really been successful in terms of taking the bigger Ukrainian cities. But right now, I think there is a real sense that Donbass could be taken, that the momentum is with the Russians in that regard. So a speeding up of military equipment being brought to bear in this conflict, that is happening right now. We've seen that in the last 24 to 48 hours with announcements coming from the US that they're going to be bolstering their supply of weaponry, howitzer, Soviet-era weaponry. And now we've been hearing today from Poland and from Germany as well that they're going to be providing hard weaponry. And we're not talking about parts to repair aircraft and such. We're talking about tanks being provided by Poland. We don't yet know how many. We're talking also about Germany providing 40 anti-aircraft anti-aircraft vehicles, Gepard. So this is a big escalation, I think you could say, because what we're seeing here is NATO members providing not weapon parts but full-on weaponry. And as a result, Sergei Lavrov has been upping his rhetoric, saying that this could escalate things towards World War III, and that countries providing that weaponry, such as Poland and Germany, that they will now be legitimate targets, at least in terms of those weapons transiting into Ukraine. So this is an escalation, there's no doubt about it.
James Creedon, thank you.